Hey everybody, it's JP from Team Bounty Hunter, and today I'm going to be reviewing Fallout 76. Now, if you know anything about me, it's that I love Fallout. The post-apocalyptic retro sci-fi, that dark humor and grim outlook for humanity's future. Now, I came to Fallout sometime after Fallout 2 came out. Yes, I'm that old. And fell in love with not just the graphics in the world, but the storylines and the characters. You can probably see where I'm already going. Well, I waited for over 10 years for Fallout 3, and when it finally came out, it was in a very different form than we all thought it would be. Hint, Google Van Buren. But what we got from Bethesda was less RPG and more action-oriented, which I wasn't surprised by since I played Oblivion, since I heard it used the same engine as Fallout 3 was going to. But it was fun and dark, even if different. But it was full of new places filled with new characters, and all in all, it felt very Fallout. New Vegas came out, which was awesome because it had some of the original people who had worked on Fallout, the original Fallout, and then Fallout 4 was much the same with a few updates here and there, and now here we are, Fallout 76. Fallout 76 was announced at E3 and hit with a public beta, BETA, Break It Early Test, that's funny, for anyone who pre-ordered it, and figured out how to get their beta code. Taking place in Appalachia, West Virginia, only 25 years after the bombs dropped, the earliest in the Fallout universe, other than Fallout 4's intro, and the first Fallout with multiplayer. But war never changes, as Ron Perlman keeps telling us, but it seems Fallout does. Maybe this is just a natural progression of the series. Like I said before, Fallout went first person, and now it's going multiplayer, but where does that leave us? Fallout 76 is beautiful, or at least as beautiful as a post-apocalyptic world should be, with gorgeous lighting everywhere and a much darker evenings. The world presented is done so well and in the Fallout fashion. All the usual suspects are present: rad roaches, feral ghouls, and deathclaws, to name a few, and adding new creatures that want to kill you. But the ones you'll see the most are the Scorched, weapon-toting zombie-like humans, which seem to have replaced raiders, and this is where things start to fall apart for me. Not only do you find a few dead raiders as well as a few dead settlers, maybe a few dead farmers. Starting to see a trend there? So Bethesda, when they first announced Fallout 73 at E3, wowed the crowd with the statement that every person you meet in the game is a player.
But there is one big difference with this game. It's that each of those characters is a real person.
And while this sounds cool, the in-game consequences are pretty stark. Every player is coming from Vault 76, playing the same quests as you are, and so there are no living settlers, farmers, townspeople. There are no NPCs. They're all just dead. So you end up being in this ghost town world where all the stories and quests are coming from Ghost, basically. And this isn't only dark and depressing, it's lonely. So for all the life Bethesda has breathed into Fallout 76, without NPCs, it feels very, very empty. Like getting locked in an amusement park after it's closed and everyone has gone home. Of course, there are a few robots and a roaming super mutant merchant with his Brahmin named Mumu, but these are far and few between, and really lacking meaningful interactions that are the building blocks for any RPG. So what Bethesda promised to replace all these dead NPCs with was multiplayer, and from the instant they announced it, people started complaining that it would become a battle royale or that people would just be PvPing, making for a very frustrating experience. And while Bethesda has built a system that encourages people to work together and not just instantly off each other, it's still lacking. One of the most fun parts of any Fallout game is exploring the post-apocalyptic world and the humanity that has survived, but in Fallout 76, there is no humanity left. They're all dead. It's just plain old lonely. The closest you come to meeting another person other than XX Time Killer 067, who may or may not have a mic or a mic that actually works, are robots who dryly hand off quests and sometimes complain that they were programmed to do just that. Now I have to admit, I have mostly been playing as if this was any other Fallout game, so I was just playing solo. As you know, I am Bounty Hunter's dad, and so the only time I actually get to play is late at night when everyone is asleep. So I can't really go off exploring with other people, let alone a whole party, wake everyone up when I'm screaming, "Someone revive me!" So I'm sure I'm missing a layer of interactivity between players, but Appalachia is still empty of one of the main things all Fallout games have: relatively meaningful interactions with NPCs that force you to make choices and choose factions that literally affect the game world. In Fallout 76, you may have cleared out an area, but if you get kicked off the server, which happens, or log off and log back in, that area is repopulated with the things that want to kill you. And so it feels like there are no lasting effects you can make on the world. This is a big one. You can drop a nuke, irradiate a blast area, but if you log off and log back into a different game world, which you probably will, those effects are gone and not long lasting. And how could it be, when the game world has to be available for new and old players at all points in time? So it does very much become an amusement park where you can go on all the rides, but there's little you can do to affect the world, create consequences, or make things a little bit better. Now, from the get-go, Bethesda said that they consider Fallout 76 release to be a starting line and that they will be continually updating and adding to the game. I can only hope that means that they will eventually populate the world with NPCs and fully realize the potential that Fallout 76 holds. No more weak storylines doled out by forgotten robots, but a full living, breathing Appalachia filled with not just enemies, but potential friends, and the ability to make lasting changes in the world. Like I said, the game is beautiful, though sometimes buggy. It's just missing some parts, and I hope Bethesda is on its way to adding them at some point in time. So I guess the main question is the game fun? Well, I've enjoyed playing it, but it gets boring and lonely. You're just following quests in a dead world, and that's it. Alright everybody, thanks for watching, and please hit that like button, and hit the subscribe button, and hit that notification bell to make sure you know when our next video is out. This is JP from Team Bounty Hunter, signing off.